Well, hello everyone. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Walls and Ceilings, and thank you so much for joining me for a very special episode of If Walls Can Talk. We are here in Dallas, Texas for the Intex Expo 2022, and I am so honored to be joined with Scott Turczynski, who's the current president of CISCA and the COO of Heartland Companies, and also Alan Skinner, who is, are you the president?
I'm the president of Skinner Interiors.
You're the president of Skinner Interiors. And also, Alan will be the incoming president of CISCA starting July 1, 2022.
Correct.
So congratulations,
Thank
Alan.
you.
And I'm sure, Scott, you're getting excited to kind of wrap things up.
Congratulations to graduate from the presidency. Right?
Scott 2.0, he had 2 years.
Oh, that's right.
Two.
Because
He had
of
the
You're
COVID.
right.
You
We
are
had a
so lucky.
a reboot.
Yeah,
Reboot.
Right? It was the reboot.
he rebooted for us.
Well, lots of exciting things going on with CISCA this year at Intex Expo. But what I want to talk about, and I want to make sure all the contractors that are listening know about as well, things are changing next year.
Bet.
So, Scott, let's start with you. Tell us what's changing and what's happening in September as well as March.
You bet. So this, Intex, right? That's
Yes.
changing. AWCI and CISCA are no longer partnering. And so we're each going to go our own way and do our own thing. So we're excited about the possibilities of what that is and everything that we can do. So to that, our next two events, I had them written here. September 27 through 30 is our fall conference, and that is in Puerto Rico. And with that, we'll have a product showcase. We'll have plenty of meetings, distributors, contractors, all the groups, and educational sessions too as well. And then a year from now-ish, in Vegas at
Bally's.
Bally's. I have a hard time saying that. Bally's. March 13 through 17. So looking forward to getting together there too as well.
That'll be great. Everyone mark your calendars. And it sounds like instead of a big expo, the vendors will have tabletops, which will make it a little bit more intimate.
You bet. You bet. You want to talk a little bit
tell us about that,
It's a
Alan?
product showcase where each individual supplier shows his product or her products, and we have individual meetings with them at the table. It's a little bit more intimate, a little bit more in depth, and it's good for us because they feel like they're important instead of standing in a line. They're having one-on-one attention. So
a little more personal,
Absolutely.
right? Smaller
Absolutely.
environment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the other things that we were just talking about that I'd really like you to explain are some of the peer groups and the mentoring programs and just really the relationships that are being built in CISCA right now. So, Alan, can you tell
Well,
all the
I'm new
contractors?
to the peer group.
Likewise.
Yeah, Scott is going to be in my peer group. A gentleman out of Oklahoma is going to be in my peer group, Anthony Brooks of Platinum Drywall, and another gentleman out of Thorn in Chicago,
Joe Boria, I can't say his name.
I can't say his last name.
Borgiano. It's bad as Turczynski,
So
I think.
he will be joining us. We meet Thursday for the first time. There's two other peer groups that's been around a long time, and they're very successful. There's the owner peer group, and then there's Scott and I are owners. So our peer group will talk more about the financial side. We learn from each other. We have full rein on each other, ask any questions. It's a great place. As being an owner, sometimes it's very lonely at the top.
Sure.
And you don't know what your circle of love and trust is with people. So this group is designed to help us mature our business and make it a better business. So that's one peer group. Then we have other peer groups that are in for estimators, project managers, and next level down. So they talk about things in different marketplaces throughout the United States that make their business better. And that's usually blessed by the owners, the check writers. And we're check writers, Yeah, we're the check writers. So
Check signers.
It's a
I don't
signer.
write them.
Yeah, that's right.
Peer groups are so important because I know I've had so many of contractors I've spoken to. They just talk about how it really can change the trajectory of their business and make it's such great insight to hear from somebody else. But how can contractors get involved in peer groups if they are looking to get involved in something? How does that work?
Well, our first step is, if they have an interest, talk with Shirley.
Okay.
Shirley is our executive director, and she will be able to guide them in the right direction of the classification that they're in. Whether
How do they find Shirley? What is her full name, and what's the website for CISCA to find her?
Shirley Wadinsky, and it's CISCA.org, isn't it?
Yep.
I should know that.
CISCA.org. She has an email on there, and you can get a hold of her, and she will give you direction. So it's real important. We want to make sure everybody feels there's a place for them. And
Most definitely.
We're all about having like-minded people in the same room. We have other groups called Contractor Group, which is important. We have estimator groups.
Okay.
We have distributor groups.
Independent reps
groups.
You bet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so there's a lot
of opportunity.
Yes,
You bet.
and they're all done in a non-competitive way. They're non-collusion involved. We have an attorney that sits in the meeting so that no one ever feels uncomfortable, and he will or she will stop it if there's a need to. So we haven't had that need.
No.
That's awesome.
And to top it off, like you said, we're talking about the financials at times. There's full transparency, but then also what's the word? Confidentiality, right?
In the peer groups, yes,
everybody knows that, and so you're free to talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you mentioned it, right? It's a great way to further your business.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Well, again, great programs, all kinds of great programs.
Well,
more than I realized with CISCA.
There's more to us, too.
Okay,
a little deeper. Let's talk about our lunch and learns, okay?
Talk about your lunch and learns,
Lunch and learns are typically once a month. A vendor wants to showcase their product or a subject matter of what they've got going. So this is good for the office staff. So you got your principals, you got your chiefs, you got your estimators, then you got your project engineers. So this is a good place for the new entries into the market to come in and be able to showcase people's products.
Sure.
So they're able to say, just like the other day, I'll throw a plug out there for SAS, a company from England showcased their product. Gorgeous, beautiful products. And it's a great source for us if it ever comes up on our bid to know where we can get the product. So it educates people coast to coast at the same time so that they're not waiting for that rep to come to the office. So I think it's a great one.
Absolutely. And you get a free lunch out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Uber.
That's always
Uber,
awesome.
Uber lunch. So.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. So one of the things that happened last night, which was you guys produced an incredible dinner at the awards, awards dinner.
Great show.
And one of the biggest award I think that was given out last night was the Gallagher Award.
You bet.
Correct.
And can you talk about who is the recipient of that and tell me a little bit about him?
Well,
you got this?
Yeah, I got this.
You get this.
I'll take this for a little bit.
Yes.
Mr. Paul Gallagher, I met him. I've known his owners since 1992. At a CISCA show is where I met him.
Nice.
Michael Coakley, who was the presenter, was a young man walking around. He said he was alone. Kind of insulted me because I was walking. We were like two dummies in the crowd walking through there, and we were young. We didn't know, and we started feeling new about it. Well, time moves forward, and I was at a CISCA event down in Florida, and Paul was there, and I'd met him. He's such a unique individual, and me and him hit it off. And I had an issue one day about my software. It just crashed, and I was sitting there, and he asked me what was wrong, and I said, "Hey, I'm having a bad day."
Oh no!
So he sits down with me, he starts talking to me about life, and he just cared about me and showed me a new software. We became friends. He found out I knew his owner, and he said, I've been to his home. I've talked to him at many meetings.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very positive, upbeat person. He has a beautiful wife, Beth, 5 kids, I think 5.
Yes.
He's got some new ones there. So
yes.
Those are married in ones.
Yeah. You mentioned when you first met him, you hit it off, right?
Yeah,
really, everybody hits it off with Paul.
That's awesome.
Great man.
And
great man.
He's a thinker. He's a doer. And he's a true picture of an American that came foreign. He came from Ireland, came here, and got a job, worked his behind off. He's got a beautiful wife, and he became a citizen.
I think you said that twice now.
Beth is a really nice
It sounds
lady.
like he's very well deserving of the award.
Lifetime contributions to CISCA is what that was for.
Yes,
so.
absolutely, and he's been involved in so many different things, and he's never said no.
No.
That's
No.
amazing.
He deserves every bit of it. We're happy.
Well, the awards that you guys give out are very deserving, clearly. But it's also exciting to know contractors that are out there that would like to try to even be considered for the rest of the awards, because there was a huge booklet that sat on my chair, and there was many awards. Can you guys talk about how do contractors enter for those awards, and how do you select those awards? What does everybody need to know?
Yeah, lots of project awards, right? And they can be submitted by not only contractors, but the manufacturers, reps, and distributors. I think everybody can, and if you are involved on a project, you can submit that project.
Sneeze. Hold on.
Cut.
Okay, here. Go ahead. Holy cow. Okay, I'm not crying. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, and so, right, and then there's a panel of judges that review all the entries, and eventually it comes down to numbers, right? Because things are ranked and added, and we get our winners.
But we also do it without knowing who submitted it. We judge.
That's all redacted.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Yeah,
we don't even know the project name.
We don't know nothing of that.
No project name, no individual products.
Okay.
No, right? It's all redacted.
You see images?
Just the
Yeah,
images
you see
and,
pictures.
and what it's all inclusive of the job, because there's more than one product in there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so we try to keep it as transparent as we can, and you submit it within a calendar year that it was completed.
Okay.
So if you did something 4 years ago, we want relatively new project. We want the year the project was completed in.
That's awesome. So is all the information on the CISCA website where they
Yes, it
can
is.
submit that? Okay,
bet.
fabulous.
There's a set of rules.
Okay.
And you must submit it in certain formats, electronic, labeling, certain pixels of your pictures, a lot of stuff like that. So
Probably this fall, right? It'll reopen this fall for awards in Vegas.
Right.
That's great. Well, I can promise you guys, as soon as we get closer to those awards being, I guess the question is the registration open now to submit for awards for next year, or when does that open up?
That'll probably open this fall.
But you can submit any time. But
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would
wait. Okay.
I would wait.
I would wait.
Well, when the time comes and you guys you open up that registration for contractors to be able to submit their awards, let us know, because we would love to make sure we push that information out there for you.
Shirley, if we talk to Shirley, she'll tell you the schedule that we have for that. We want to make it transparent and fair, but we want you to go within our guidelines and our timeline, because we have volunteers that do this. And we have an architect involved. We have different people, different disciplines that help judges.
That's awesome.
So,
well, thank you, gentlemen, so much. It's really great to see everything that CISCA is doing, and I know it's a volunteer position for what you do, so it's awesome to see how much you guys give, and there's no doubt everybody gets back more in return than what you guys give, is what everybody says.
Absolutely.
It's been a blessing to me and my family and my company. I like Paul is a fine example. I have a lifelong friend, and you meet people here, and then you see people you haven't seen from a year, and it's great to see them. This 2 years has been a long time on us.
Yeah,
it has.
It has been.
We only got faces for Zoom.
We appreciate you having us, Jill.
Thank you very
and,
much. Most definitely. And
love the partnership that Walls and Ceilings and CISCA has.
Thank you. Yes, we're very grateful. So if anybody has any questions, make sure you go to the CISCA website, and please join, because you can see there's a lot of incredible gentlemen involved, and women as well, that can help you with your own business. But also, if you have questions for us, it's wconline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, our e-news, our website, as well as our e-magazine. And we can't wait to talk to you again on If Walls Can Talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.